So hey again guys, this time I want to talk a little bit about wrestling, and this is a little observation that I made quite some time ago, and I figured it out a long time ago, and then I realized what kind of crap wrestling most jiu-jitsu guys have actually when you look at the competitions. And the thing I noticed is that when wrestlers wrestle, you know, they're always constantly like clashing head on, yeah. He's moving into me, I'm moving into him. They're pushing each other, yeah. They're always pushing each other. There's a limited mat space, yeah. You can try to push the other guy out of the bounds, and that's a really good thing that you're always trying to push the other guy. And when you look at jiu-jitsu guys, most is quite well said. Is that you don't see guys really trying to push each other when they wrestle. When this match starts, they don't really do that the force. What I mean is that usually jiu-jitsu guys is like they're like standing here, like grabbing their wrists nice and slowly, like sneaking here, looking what to do, and then they do some kind of really crap telegraphed, no setup, shoot, and he throws out of it. And this is what you see most jiu-jitsu matches have for stand-up wrestling, just like that, sneaking here. Just going doing some goofy, not set up shot, okay? And what you see wrestlers do is they're gonna be here and they're gonna try to push each other. And there's a little collision going on here, okay? All the time, they're trying to push each other, okay? And I just want to talk a little bit. I'm just gonna talk a little bit my opinion on this. Why this is really good that people do this. So first of all, if you push the other guy, yeah, you learn to push using your whole body, okay? This is a really important thing. Your whole body should be that lever, you know? You're not pushing it with the arms. You're not doing it just like this, you know? What you do is you gotta have good posture again. Again, this is the foundation of everything. Nice, that hips back. You see jiu-jitsu guys mostly wrestle like this, with an arch back. Just sneak in here with an arch back, yeah, going in, okay? You're good wrestlers. Not everyone, but quite good. A lot of good wrestlers use a straight back, because that way, if you have that chest sticking out, your hips are like bam, a little bit backwards. If your chest is sticking out, this is going to be your lever for using your whole body weight. Okay? When you push him, I push him. See, I go in contact with my chest. I use my legs to push, bam, yeah. So to develop the force, okay, I learned to use my whole body as this truck, okay? My body becomes so strong, okay? I'm not pushing with just separate limbs, I'm using my whole body power, okay? And this goes, when I grab like this, and I want to push him, I kind of like, see, I let my elbow get close to me, and now I use my whole body, and I'm pushing him with my whole body. I'm not pushing him with just the arm. And this goes for everything we're going to do in wrestling here. I'm going to grab something, again, in contact, to see, and I'm using my whole body with that good posture to pressure him. Bam, using that force, developing this force. So I learned to use my whole body as this one big truck. And this, later on, this will just carry over when we pass the guard or when we are in top control. So later on, when I'm passing the guard here, I learned to do that basically the same thing. I kind of get those angles here, and I start developing my weight on him, and I press with my chest and my hips again. You see, the same thing. I'm pressing him, developing such enormous power on him. So that's one of the benefits. The learning to use your whole body as this truck, yeah, just rolling over the other guy. So, and you do that when you start to push each other. Okay. Now, another thing why you should do this. You always have two people like wrestling with trying to push each other, is that when you grapple like this with this goofy stuff here, yeah, you don't develop tie-ups at all, you know, tie-ups like getting an underhook in, pressing here, learning to get some controls going, any kind of tie-up, controlling the arm here, yeah, even just grabbing the wrist, like holding the wrist, like this is a tie-up as well, okay, so. And then when you're like this, you're not trying to engage each other. There's going to be no tie-ups. There's not going to be not good head learning to control the other guy with the head control, yeah? You kind of lose all the tie-ups when you don't do that. When two people are forcing to collide with each other, you're going to start searching for the underhooks. You're going to learn to drive your hip in, learn to get good at tie-ups, any kind of tie-up. Okay? Another benefit of clashing together. Okay? And third, this force will be set up on its own for your takedowns. Okay? When you collide together, all I need to do is like a little bit like, and I drop down maybe just a little bit because he's pushing into me. I drop down and I get this motion. This can be just a setup. So, you know, when he's colliding into me, I can use this power, just go into him, and this will be my setup. Okay, and this will make it easier to do all the other shoots and shots when I want to go in. I want to do duck underhead. So he's colliding into me. I press again, and then I go down underneath. Okay, so all the setups will become better because he's clashing into you, you're clashing into him. This makes things happen when you collide together. Okay, and then again, when you train stand-up wrestling, you know, and you do this goofy stuff, just sneaking around. Don't do that. You know, my last submission wrestling competition, when I was fighting the guys, I really noticed this. That they were like, you know, I was trying to go in and throw them out. So I was trying to go in, and they were like, "What are you doing, dude? Where are you coming?" And they were like not wanting to fight. Like, what is that? You know, it's a match. You know, you want to fight, okay? And you're gonna put pressure on him. Just keep going. You just throw him out of the bounds. Yeah, I think that's not right. You know, you can't just hover around there, sneaking, put pressure on him. And you learn to do this, you know, and you should learn to develop pressure. There are some things to consider, especially if you haven't done this before, you know. You can't just go like this, like, oh, I'm gonna go on, and when he steps away, you know, I fall down, you know. You don't develop pressure like that. There's a really simple drills that I like to do to people to start using their body correctly and in the right way. Is that, as you see, the mats are like, there's yellow and gray spots. What I like to do usually, I put people in there, and you know, I tell them to try to push each other out of the bounds, and then they're gonna use the good posture, yeah, and they're gonna try to work to push each other out. And you add those. You explain to people that you can't push like too much like this. When he steps away, you're gonna fall out. Okay, so the pushing motion is kind of like you're always ready to, when he steps out, your front leg is always ready to balance yourself again. So when he steps out, I'm here. Bam, I don't fall on my head. Okay? And also you use circular movements to not go directly back. So when he's pushing me, yeah, he's pushing me. They use circular movements here. Bam, yeah, we're always pushing each other, but we're doing it correctly, yeah? Not losing balance anywhere. And because I do that, because we do this, you kind of develop all those things that I talked about before, yeah? You learn to use your whole body as a struck, and you learn to develop tie-ups because there's something to tie up to, yeah? He's not trying to just back away. You learn to use overhook controls. You learn to push each other, and you set up, because there's force colliding with you. You learn to use setups, okay, better. So, bad here, sneaking, bad posture, sneaking around here, doing some goofy shots from out of the blue. Right, this is good. Yeah, wrestling here, developing pressure. Yeah, wow. Just learning from that, using your whole body as a lever. Yes, going in through that force. That's all good. Okay, so that was just a little point I wanted to make this week, yeah? Collision course, good stuff.